I come with eldritch knowledge not meant for mortal minds that may drive you mad. For did you know, war pigs and deck the halls can be sung to each other's tunes? Um, if you want to see part one, links in the description below. But now, on to part two. Deck the halls with boughs of holly. 'Tis the season to be jolly. Don we now our gay apparel. Sing the ancient Yuletide carol. See the blazing Yule before us. Strike the harp and join the chorus. Follow me in merry measure while I tell of Yuletide treasure. Oh Lord, yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Fast away the old year passes. Hail the new year, lads and lasses. Sing ye joyous all together. Heedless of the wind and weather. And once again, rock on.
Good morning, my beauties and bees. We are live from the Hive. It is Saturday morning, December 10th. We are still trucking along. I hope you all enjoy this new format I'm doing. I'm just trying to space out my segments a little better for it's mostly for selfish editing purposes. But I thought, you know what, in the meantime, why don't I first I was running just my little short videos and stuff, the replays, just because I can cut those out since they're my custom videos. And I'm like, you know what, I got lots of friends on YouTube with short little videos that might want to advertise a little bit for themselves, whether it's a real ad, like an ad that you made for your channel, a music video, something silly like what Ring provided here. As a matter of fact, with Ring's, they sent me the raw footage, and I clipped that together with the backing track and all the animation and stuff myself, because I love Ring and I want them to be able to have the best ad possible. So I clipped that all together for Ring out of love. And I hope you enjoyed that. It's going to be on rotation for a little bit for the next 3 weeks in Live from the Hive. So if you missed it, we will revisit it. Good morning, Ring, by the way, and Sandy, both chatting with me bright and early as I was getting the studio set up this morning. So love you guys. I love having some friends to chat to when I'm just pulling everything up and making sure I got everything where it needs to be. Usually do it the night before, but I do it I get it in the morning. I'm just a pain in the butt like that, I guess. You know what? Bree has no longer starting screen intros with lo- oh, my intros are longer. Yeah. Yes. I am all about it. I am an inspiration for, or Tang's an inspiration to me and how I run my channel. I didn't know they were getting any backlash about their long intros and stuff, and their little sound bites. This Oz's soundboard, I love it. Still think he needs to add some no diggity on there, though. I mean, no doubt, right? So, forgot to pick up coffee yesterday, so I had to order coffee from one of the places, local places. But it's funny because you order it from a local place, and I guess they were out of cups or something because they went to Dunkin'. Whatever. For their cups. But they got the holiday cups at least. I wonder if I had to buy those. Yeah, it is advertising space, definitely. That's what I want. And I want Tang in there. Give me Oz needs to send me or let me pick a music video from his. If I do a music video from Oz, especially, it's probably gonna be my outro. Um, but yeah, I would love to. I would love to have some Oz up in here. If even if you have like just a short clip of, and I have plenty of these of you engaging or debating with somebody or making a point that you think you made a really good argument, you can send that to me. Hell, I'll put that up there. But yeah, if you want to, I mean, I'm not trying to pressure anybody. I got a few people already. I got enough to keep me through December. But and if nobody wants free ads, that's fine. I will put more Bumblebee stuff. I got the second channel I can advertise for on here. Actually, bumped ads for that off until January because I wanted to make sure that everybody else had a chance to get some ads in for December and for this time of year. But the starting in January, there's going to be some awesome stuff going on in the Hive, and some awesome stuff going on over at Battle for Gaia. So if you're not subscribed to my little sister channel, Battle for Gaia, it's a channel. It's a streaming channel like this, but I talk specifically about animals. It's not really about debunking like I do over here. It's just about animals and well, I guess it does. I do talk about animal folklore, okay, and that's one of the main topics over there is animal folklore. But the other main topic is just animal interaction and interspecies interactions, which is always been a very popular topic because people like to know how animals fare in conflicts with each other and what variables can come into play with that. So if that's the kind of stuff you're interested in, I usually have like it'll be interlaced with videos from like nature shows and stuff like that, just little clips. So if you like animal videos and you want to hear me talk about animals and how they interact and why they behave the way they do and how things have changed, what their future looks like, what their past looks like, subscribe to Battle for Gaia. And Bugbot's dropping the Bugbot should be dropping the links for those anyway. I haven't seen Bugbot drop any auto links yet. What's your deal, Bugbot? Those are all on timers, so maybe the timer's too long. Maybe I have to shorten it down. But anyway. Yeah, I do force people to look up new and interesting terms as well, Sandy. I try to educate. I try to sneak education in there. Yeah, I sneak it in between the goofiness and the entertaining stuff that I try to do. So that's the plan through the end of the year. I'm going to keep doing the Christmas theme stuff, right? You see my little guys with Christmas hats on here. This is the page that I will decorate, by the way. Yeah. So, and you can, if you want to help us out in any other way, you want to help out what we're doing. Yeah, there you can join the Patreon down below. I also have, I believe I have my my pay apps in the description. If I don't, I'll add them. Because yeah, that's something I should probably do the way things are going lately. Because anything that anybody can do to help us out here. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not gonna sulk about that though. Because here we are and here we be, and this is the Hive, and this is where we talk about all the fun stuff going on in this part is in the community, of course. So last night there was a thing with Mark Reed, Atheist Jr., and Mike Granado. If you all don't know Mike Granado, or any of those other gentlemen, obviously you need to get a clue. No, no, not really. It's just, but they're good peeps. They all engage in discussions and discourse regarding a multitude of topics, mostly in the skeptical community. So that's why they're my peeps anyway. So go check them out. There you are. Bugbot's finally catching up. It just dumped all my chat into the side chat here too. So anyway, yes, anything you got of Oz being cute would be freaking fantastic. Oz is always cute though. All right, so who is ready to start the show and dive right into, oh my gosh, is that delicious Danish I see out there? Oh my gosh, hello. It's been so long since I've seen you in the live chat. I know that my timing's not good for people in your time zone. It's like right in the middle of a Saturday afternoon. So, yes, thank you so much for dropping in. And GeoSam is here. Oh yeah, lots of good people popping in today. Thank you so much. Greg is here, and oh yeah, and Jenna. Thank you everybody for coming in and visiting the Hive this morning. We are going to go ahead and get started because it is time for Cryptic Corner. Welcome to Cryptic Corner. I'm Bree, your host this morning, or this evening, depending on when you're watching. But regardless of when you're watching, we're glad you're here, and we're glad you're joining us in the Hive. And got a long-time subscriber, doesn't always get to catch us live in the side chats, but I'm giving just a shout-out to here on Cryptic Corner as well, because I love seeing you in here. It's my friend Linda, Delicious Danish. She is, this is the second time she's been in the U.S. Since we've been friends. And second time that she's been in my time zone. Now, she does a show called the TMI Show. So it's during the like, what is it, like 10 a.m. or so. It's right in the middle of my workday, so I don't get to watch it anymore. I used to have a position where I could watch it because it's always fell in a certain time slot where I was available, which was great because I always went in there and hung out in the side chat, and I even made some little videos for Linda as well. But yeah, it's good to see you. I'm glad you're here for Live from the Hive, and this is CryptoCorner. So I need to give a disclaimer this morning, okay, regarding our topic in CryptoCorner. There is a cross section of people who engage in supernatural investigation and fabrication. I mean, the creepypasta people and stuff like that. People who are into paranormal topics. There is a cross section between them and folks who suffer from some degree of mental illness. And suffering from, or saying suffering from is probably not even the best terminology for it, dealing with or working through or working with a mental illness is never an easy thing to do. And I know this from firsthand experience. You all know I wear that on my sleeve. I'm an advocate for ending this stupid stigma we have about people dealing with mental illness. I mentioned Oz earlier. We are all mental illness advocates, and I am also a safe person to talk to. So let me clear my throat real quick because I'm getting a little emotional. Anyway, I am a safe person to come to and talk to. I will listen and try to do my best to guide you. I'm not necessarily somebody that you will always be able to lean on, but I'm somebody who will always be able to listen and put you in what I think is the best environment possible to get help. Whether that means hooking you up with some friends that I have who run mental health support groups, private support groups, not through any kind of church or anything. That's a big problem with a lot of support groups, is that at least here in the area that I live in, is they're all religiously affiliated. It makes it difficult for me to interact with people. Or even if they're not religiously affiliated, most of the people there are using religious terminology and expressions, and it really makes me uncomfortable. So if you are in the same boat, but you want a support group to talk you through it, Jenna, will you drop the Tang email in the side chat there for me, babe? Oh gosh, you don't even have a wrench. What am I doing not giving Jenna a wrench? There you go. That should help you out. That should help you out, girl. Anyway, so this is why I'm doing this disclaimer, because the person that we're discussing today was they were someone like me on the internet. So, and they did have mental illness that they struggled with, completely separate from the topic that we're talking about. And we will get into that, but let us first lay the groundwork for what we're delving into. Okay, so this is new stuff, and I've debated whether or not to cover it, because I want to say I got backlash about the time to wait coverage, where there was some mental health topics that do come up. So whether the paranormal is real or not, whether government cover-ups and Nephilim giants and all this stuff is real, it's going to overlap with mental illness. There's going to be an overlap there of people who believe this stuff is going on, and people who are actually experiencing it. And I will let you decide for yourself regarding the evidence of what I'm going to propose to you today. But This is the case I followed actually the first video segments came to my attention when I was doing my research for the first half of the year's creatures of 2022, which I need to finish, by the way, before the end of the year. So that's going to be one of the next 2 episodes. How many more Saturdays do we have left? I need to get my schedule in order, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yeah, we got 3 Saturdays left. So sometime within the next 3 weeks, probably that final week, I would say, to wrap up Creatures of 2022. Because I did the first 6 months back in, was it August or September? One of those months. Anyhow, this came to my attention, and I didn't find I thought the video was stupid. And I'll show you the video right now, just to give you an idea, okay? Let me see here. We're gonna go into. Bear with me. I'm still sorting things out in here how I want them kind of laid out. So this one. Oh, TikTok, are you gonna freeze on me? Come on. Oh, and now you're going to do the stupid kind of.
What is it?
It's a person, dude. No, seriously, pull over, pull over.
No.
It's a person standing there.
No, it's not.
Dude, if you seen what I seen right now?
All right, so it's a giant. Yeah, I'm looking for creatures, so obviously it didn't match with that. Also, it doesn't look like a giant to me. It looks like some kind of tower or something. I'm not convinced. And I ignored it. Like, totally. Because, I'm sorry if y'all had to hear me slurping my coffee there. I have to edit those out too, because I can't stand the sound of it, and I don't realize I'm doing it until I listen back, so maybe I should just have a coffee emoji that pops up when it sounds gross. Anyway, yeah, I thought it was a tower, maybe a beacon for air travel. Something like that, a radio tower, a cell tower, television tower. Nothing too convincing, nothing too compelling. And I ignored it. And then earlier this fall, it came to my attention that this thing had kind of unfurled a bit. And we're going to explore that today. Because it goes further than this. It goes, because I don't understand why this particular video blew up, but for some reason it did. 444.4K comments turned off, and we'll get to that as well. And I think it's probably for the best. Oh, Mark Reed, thank you so much. You'll want to catch up on this if you're interested in the fate of this giant sighting, because it gets really weird. Things get super weird. A pair of binoculars would settle the issue. Yeah, probably would. And as you'll see, getting this clear of a view of this mountaintop is not going to be an easy task. All right, so let's keep going along with this. Yes, yeah, this thing really starts to unravel. Yes, I absolutely mean those little pixels. It's gonna get weird. It'll get weird, but good night, sleep tight. I hope that the anxiety at not knowing what this is on the mountainside doesn't keep you away at night. But this is less about what's on the mountainside and more about the guy filming it, to be honest. Yeah. But let's keep going. Let us continue on. So, time goes by, and I see that even up until just the last couple of days, there's been people just this has been really blowing up in the cryptic community, and in the conspiracy community. So there was she's Daddy's Little Monster that did this video about it, and this is just came out 2 days ago. All right, and again, I needed to finish the year with the animal, or the what's this creature, or whatever, mystery creature, where I take what I do is I take, because I collect a whole bunch of them, the shorts, one for each month of what kind of animal is this, or what's this strange creature, a mysterious animal caught on camera, things like that, and I kind of identify them. So yeah, I will finish that up, but that's what brought me back to this. I was like, hey, I remember something about that. Whatever happened with that? This happened with that. This absolutely happened with that. And this girl, what are you doing? All this, I don't know if TikTok's got something going on or what.
Andrew Dawson, off my mind. Dawson made a viral video where he basically saw a giant and he documented the entire thing. This takes place.
Let me restart it. I don't.
TikToker Andrew Dawson.
Let me restart it. I don't know if you all could hear her or not. She's kind of quiet on my end. Let me see how my speakers are turned up. If I turn my speakers too much up, it gets feedback. I don't like wearing headphones, so it's just me talking to myself. So. There we go. Let's try that. Video volume is low. That's what I thought too. Got it cranked all the way up now.
TikToker Andrew Dawson, off my mind. Andrew Dawson made a viral video where he basically saw a giant and he documented the entire thing. This takes place in Canada.
Okay, so far she's following the same route that we just took there. Looking at the top of this mountain. Mm-hmm.
By the way, here is the video.
What is it?
It's a person, dude.
So he tried to drive further up that mountain and he was stopped by some CIA agent, or CSIS, which is the Canada version. Stopped and told to turn around, and he was like, but the locals told me that, like, I can go up this mountain, it's access to the public, and they were just like, no, like, turn around. So he says that in this video, but he actually captures it where he has a phone in his lap and someone tells him to turn around, and he goes, all right, have a good night, or whatever. And it starts getting really weird.
Okay, so far, and we are going to watch all these little clips. They're all fairly short. We're going to go through and kind of break this down, because this is the thing, and this is the point I'm trying to make. Our Daddy's Little Monster here, who is putting out these TikToks with all this information on it. We're gonna kind of break that down, because people just take this at face value. It's more complex than what this young lady is presenting here, and I think it's kind of dangerous and just disingenuous. And we'll wrap up with why that is. But
Someone is following me.
I think that's the same vehicle from. Hey!
After that altercation, he takes this video where he's like standing in front of the camera, looking to the left a lot, saying that he lied and that the whole thing was scripted. He makes another video saying that this is probably going to be his last video and he did not lie and he cannot be silenced, basically. And this is his very last video that he took in August, and this is what's on top of the mountain now. It's like some military thingy set up now. But yeah, completely documented absolutely everything that was happening on this mountain. Sadly, shortly after that, he took these videos in May. In July, he dies of suicide. And his wife is the one that confirms it. She says that he was struggling a lot with depression and he died of suicide. And that it was just a really weird coincidence that all this happened after the videos and it has nothing to do with the videos. And his wife makes another updated video because everyone keeps commenting that, like, he didn't die by suicide, that this was the CIA. And she basically calls everyone dumb and saying, like, Canada doesn't have a CIA, and that, you know, basically that they didn't know what happened. But her body language is kind of different in this video, and she's looking to the left a lot, kind of how Andrew was in his video where he was saying that he scripted everything. But I want to point that out, but that's what she said happened to Andrew. The timing of all of this is really weird. I feel like if he would have just posted the giant video and then just left it at that, because of the fact that he kept digging deeper and coincidentally he dies of suicide. Like, what do y'all think? I cannot
see. Okay. Okay, so let's break things down here. Okay, first we're gonna deal with the end part there, which is what really made this go viral. It's viral right now. And this young lady is kind of the cornerstone to it. If you look up this gentleman's name on YouTube now, you will see dozens of videos popping up with all sourced back to this, and then of course sourced back from this to Andrew's videos specifically. Let's see here. Now Andrew's channel is, I thought I had it pulled up. Hold on. I just got to switch it over. Andrew's channel is still up. It's still available for viewing. 67.4K followers. It's fairly successful. Whether this success was before or after the gentleman's unfortunate end, I don't know. But we're going to go through what he has going on here and see what we can parse apart from it, okay? So let's go. I'm kind of going to break this down, all right? Original video, it's a giant.
What is it?
It's a person, dude. No, seriously, pull
All right, so this video, from all my research that I could parse, now people will claim that this is the Whistlers in Alberta, and it's not. This is in British Columbia. This is Canoe Mountain. It's south of Valemount, British Columbia, and this is what we're doing here. And we'll go look in just a moment. What we're doing here is we are heading south on Yellowhead Highway, okay, through British Columbia. Let's see here. So we are looking at this mountaintop. It's covered in snow because this is in April. This is in April in British Columbia, and we are right about. Let me drop my little dude down, and we'll see right about where we are. Okay. Are we ready? Okay. Dropping him down. There's our mountain. There's our mountain as seen. When does this? Usually Google has a somewhere on the 360 has their little ad of when this was added. I think, oh, there it is. It just says 2018. It doesn't say what month it is. Yeah, right there. So we know it's 2018, but it looks a lot greener than when our friend was driving down. So I'm going to say that this is probably sometime between, I don't know, maybe May and September. So that's a long range of time. But I'm from looking at the grass being mowed. I'm leaning more towards the later side of that. I don't imagine that lawn maintenance and highway lawn maintenance on the shoulder really comes into play too much before maybe May at the earliest. But there's a lot of dieback growth too, seasonal dieback growth. So I'm not sure exactly. Oh, Street View, August. This is August. So yes, late summer. Nailed it without even knowing. Yes. I am good at this crap. You guys watch me go and wind me up and watch me go. Now, I don't take complete credit for finding this location. There's been a lot of sleuthing done in order to get this. And I'll tell you, going through all the Reddit feeds and stuff about this was fun. Trying to sort it out and unravel it. But other people have beat me to the punch quite a bit. There is some channels that we will have to definitely give a shout out to in the when I release this for doing their amazing research on this. But here we are, and this is about the best view that you're going to get of this mountain on Google Street View, just because the quality of the cameras that they use aren't always that great, and the summer in British Columbia is foggy on the mountaintops, just like any place else. But if we look, we can see that this is our mountain. Yes. Obviously with snow and all that good stuff on it, but he's able to zoom a lot better with his little camera than you are with Google, at least to get better resolution.
There's a person
shots.
standing there.
No, it's not.
Dude, have you seen what I've seen right now?
So it's got all that winter snow up on the mountain. But... all right, so you know, he takes some different views because people were complaining, I guess, about why are these all locked out? I swear.
Do you see how
I refresh it and it does that, and I don't want it to do that. Oh. And I end up freaking closing it. Good grief. Technical difficulties. Bear with me. Alright, here we go.
Do you see how far away it is? How far I have to zoom? Do you know how hard it is to keep a steady hand? If this video blows up, or somebody buys me a friggin' helicopter to get all the way up there, do you see how far away it is? How far I have to zoom? Do you know how hard it is to keep a steady hand? If this video blows up, or somebody buys me a friggin' helicopter.
Yeah. So he needs a helicopter to go up there and look, because he's looking for that.
So the video's blown up. A lot of you say I have Parkinson's, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to try to go closer and find a better angle. Yeah. Or somebody can rent me a helicopter and I'll try to find it. Or maybe blow the videos up and maybe I can get sponsored. A helicopter company can sponsor me to go up there. I don't know. But I'll try to hold the camera better. Okay, you try to hold the camera when we zoom
He's
like that.
kind of, yeah,
So the video's blowing up.
that he's kind of annoyed that people are complaining about the shaky cam, but that's par for course for
We
type
are
of video.
on our way. We're gonna go find somewhere closer, and I'm gonna set my camera on something so you guys aren't complaining how shaky it is in the truck. Because, yeah, internet has no chill. But that's the mountain we're going to. But we're just gonna try to get closer.
Okay, so this is, and we can't, unfortunately, we can't. Unfortunately, we can't see from. I did not want you to spin me around. But this is shot from. Okay, so there's the mountain right there, and these guys are now heading up Whiskey Fill Road here, and that is where I think they're on this this straight shot right here when, or sorry, not that straight shot there, the straight shot either right here or right here when we're looking at the mountain. But I'm not 100% sure on that. There is another shot that I am sure is from right here, though. I should never say sure. I'm almost certain that it's from one of these lots right here. The thing is, if it's this little town in British Columbia doesn't have, the streets are not viewable out here. As you can see, as I wave my little dude around, he doesn't get to drop down anywhere. So the closest you can get is out here on the 5, which is the Yellowhead Highway. All right. So, are you with me so far, Hive? Are you following along? Okay, so
Okay, I'm
this
gonna
one,
use this as a tripod to try to keep it steady for you guys. And it's not even there anymore, too. That's where it was yesterday. I spoke to some locals and it comes and goes apparently. I don't know. See, that's me trying to keep it super steady with something. There we go. Do you know how hard it is to keep it steady when zoomed in?
very cold up there. Look at that.
Okay, I'm gonna use this as a tripod to try to keep it steady for you guys. And it's not even there anymore, too.
All right. So it moved. But again, remember, we are, when he saw it before, we were out here. And now we're up over here. Okay, so, because you can, and you could tell earlier when they were driving that they were looking at the mountain from a, the mountain was on the right. So, yeah, they were either on this road or on one of these trackways right here that could have been, but these roads look very rural, and the road that they were driving down did not look rural, but that is also the possibility that they were heading down at this way, in this section right here, where it might be more paved, and because you see it start to deteriorate into more of a country road as we move along here. I don't know if you guys are used to, you can't drop down in here, but I can see it. I'm used to looking at street views or in these overheads enough to kind of get an idea. Ooh, is it going to let him drop down in there? No. Of what type of road we're looking at. So it could have been these, but the length of this that is not obscured by trees is not very much. Whereas this section right here, coming up Whiskey Fill Road, is going to give about the best view of the mountain on the right that you're going to be able to get unobscured by forest. Again, I think maybe this section here on this road could be, and this section here perhaps, but there's a lot of trees in there. Look how dense those trees are. And again, these are Canoe River Forest Road and Bailey Road and all this out here. Very obscured by forest. However, there is this length up here that runs along the lake that they may have been able to view it, but you would expect the mountain to be much, much larger to the right at this distance. They should see the mountain should be filling the whole right side of their field of view. Well, I am actually gesturing to the right, but I guess maybe left is the way you guys see me. Anyway, moving on. Let's go back to the videos. Hope everybody's keeping up so far. If I've lost anybody. All right.
I just got stopped by like some CIA agent. He told me to turn around and said I'm trespassing. I said it's a public area, like a public park or whatever. Some local told me to take this path. I didn't get it on camera, but I'm going to go again tomorrow and be prepared to be filming right now because he stopped the vehicle. His truck was blocking it. Said some environmental issue was going on. I don't know. He told me to go back and said I was trespassing. I don't get it. It was awkward, but I'm going back again tomorrow to see if he's not there. But if he is there, I will keep camera. I will film because the only angle I could get that I found today is the one I just posted earlier, and there wasn't even anything there. But I don't understand why the road's blocked off. I don't know.
All right, there's a couple of things. There's a couple of things he says here that I want you to keep track of. Okay, so he got stopped on a mountain road, right? That's what he's claiming. So, and he's trying to get to the mountain. I am thinking that he is trying to get into this area here. He's either that he's trying to get into this area or heading up this right here. This is probably the most probable explanation. This is the camp. Down here is the Camp Creek recreational area. There is skiing here. Camp Creek cross-country skiing. So there's cross-country skiing that they do. And this road here is actually the highest road in Canada. Let me show you guys. All right, so this is the Canoe Mountain Road here. This is up towards the top where the trees thin out, but it's really rough going. As you can see, there's, let's see, Canoe Mountain is a high mountain peak that is elevated 2.628 meters or 8,622 feet above sea level, located in east central British Columbia, Canada. It is one of the highest roads in the country. Nestled in the Monashee Range of Columbia Mountains, the road to the summit is unpaved. The surface of the road is not in very good shape anymore, and it is not maintained. It is called Canoe Mountain Road. It's pretty slow going with some parts narrow, tight turns, loose gravel, and very steep near the top. And then you got this nice tower on top. Look at the nice tower on top of this mountain. Accessibility is largely limited to the summer season. It's a fire service road. 4x4 vehicles or ATVs required. Atop of the mountain is a CBC TV tower. The road ends where the telecommunication facility perches on the edge of a precipice. The summit features a panoramic view in all directions and a stunning view of Kinbasket Lake. It's the northernmost peak of the Monashi Range. It's said to be the highest vehicle accessible launch in the country, starting at British BC Highway 5, that's the Yellowhead Highway. The road to the summit is 12.6 or 12.6K or 7.83 miles long. Over the distance, the elevation gained is, wow, 1,809 meters. The average gradient is 14.35%. And then, of course, you can see down here, they're the same place on the map that we are looking right now. So we're all on the same page. We are looking at good old Canoe Mountain right here, and the road trekking up to it. So two possibilities are that he was trying to get up this trailhead here, which does not look like it's accessible by vehicles at all. It looks like it's a hiking trail. It's a straight burn, though. I imagine that's probably where they routed the power cables to the. Oh, there's probably power lines running through there that we can't see. But it's a straight shot up the mountainside. Even crisscrosses the winding road. Gets us all the way up here. I guess at this point it cuts across here, and then and into here is where that photo was taken, into this area where there's no obstruction, just winding roads. Okay. So are you with me so far? I love doing this Google Earth sleuthing. Steve McRae's manager. Good to see you. All right, so let's move on with the TikTok part of this. Okay, so he's still salty about the shaky cam, but now he's more into this being stopped by the CIA agent in a truck. Oh yeah, I meant to let you guys hear that.
I just got stopped by like.
Where was it?
I said it's a public area. I just got stopped by like some CIA agent. He told me to turn around and said I'm trespassing. I said it's a public area, like a public park or whatever. Mm-hmm. Some local told me to take this path. I didn't get it on camera, but I'm going to go again tomorrow and be prepared to be filming right now because he stopped the vehicle. His truck was blocking it. Said some.
Okay, so it's someone in a truck. Well, I want to make sure that that's clear about this. He had his truck blocking the road, but our homeboy is going to try to go again tomorrow. He's going to get up bright and early.
All right. I woke up actually early today. Actually, we're going to go on an adventure. It's currently.
Is this still April?
5:30 in the morning.
What the temperature was. Hold on. Did it say what the temperature was?
5:30 in
-13. I wonder if that's Celsius. Probably they're in Canada, right? What is 13 degrees Celsius? That's -13. $8 degrees. That's pretty freaking cold. Pretty cold getting going in the morning.
5:30 in the morning. I'm going to see if he's there early in the morning. And see if I can get out a little bit. Look at all these mountains I got. They are everywhere around here too.
That is gorgeous.
That's the one.
I don't know if it's
right.
gorgeous enough for 8 degrees.
All right. I woke up actually early today.
All right, so this is the view from Valemont, looking at the surrounding mountains, and we are still in April. There's still snow on the peaks, but I believe, maybe I'm wrong, but I believe the ski resorts would be closed at this time of year. If anybody knows the ski season in this area of British Columbia, I could not find it anywhere. So anybody who has any insight on that, please let me know, and I'll correct myself. But I believe that the reason why the roads were closed is because of the snow. I don't think there would have been access, but correct me if I'm wrong. All right, so he gets up early and gets going.
Yeah, it's not my window. I'll show you. Over here.
So he sees something over the mountain ridges here. I don't think this is the same mountain, but I don't believe these are the same mountains over here that we were looking at before. But he said, did the thing on the mountain go home, was in his description here. So for this one, I did find this super interesting, and this is one that nobody else seemed to have been able to figure out, but I'm pretty confident that I figured it out. Maybe. I believe this is a sundog, right? A sundog? This is, I mean, what they look like, especially that one. Did you see that? That's certainly at least visually similar to what we're seeing in his photo, or in his little video. I said photo. He didn't have a photo. It's very visually similar to what he filmed. Now, I don't know where the position of the sun was, but these do occur when it's super cold. That's why, because it's frost, or not frost, I guess. I don't know how else to describe it, but yeah, like frozen water molecules in the lower atmosphere, because the atmosphere is low enough that evaporating water is freezing right there and catching the sunlight. They happen a lot over mountains, because the evaporation is basically like the water cycle on a mini scale, like within just feet. Other atmospheric conditions can cause it as well, though. Dusts can cause it. But this is what they think maybe the miracle of the sun was, too, is something like this. That one especially looks like what he's got going on here. Let's go back to his video and watch it again now. Maybe I should mute it, because that's X-Files music that's going to get me in trouble. I mean, again, correct me if you think I'm wrong, but to me it looks like a sundog. All right, let's move on to the next one.
Oh, they're extracting something out of here. There's 2 helicopters. What the fuck? So they're extracting something out of here. There's 2 helicopters. What the fuck?
Okay, so they're extracting
So-
something. I guess you see some helicopters flying over the mountain range. But I mean, as of right now, I haven't seen anything that can't be explained by, you know, just catching sights of normal stuff, catching a glimpse of a sundog, being told someone stopping you in their truck and telling you can't go up the mountain because of the snow or what have you, and then these helicopters. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why helicopters could be doing this. One of the buildings locally here, instead of using a crane because the building was so wide, they had to use a helicopter to move heavy equipment around up on the up above while they were working. So it had a hook, and they used it just like a crane. Helicopters are used to carry water buckets for fires. They are used to haul things like parts for radio towers up into the mountains. It's more efficient than trying to cut a trail to some of these places, some of these far off stations and things. To haul heavy equipment out there, it's sometimes cheaper to fly it in. Right, so
The guy's here again.
the guy's here again.
Yeah,
See a
this is-
car.
this is him.
Flashlight.
What's going on?
Road's closed. Turn around.
Really?
Yeah, man. Just turn around, please.
Oh, okay. Have a good night, man. So that was fucked up. There it is. I'm driving past him again. Just turned around. I don't understand why it's closed off though. It's a fucking public park or public road or whatever.
Okay. So keep in mind that he said before it was a truck. This is definitely a car. Guy's got a flashlight, but he said public park and then public road. So let's go back out to our map. And we have our trail here. He could very well have been down in here, in this area. Maybe getting stopped right here. It would be quite peculiar to have somebody stationed there, though. But if he's trying to get up through here, it would make more sense that there'd be somebody on site, because there's a recreational area back in here with some buildings and stuff, so someone sees him driving up through here. Oh, we don't want that. Someone sees him driving up through here and turning up in here from like one of these stations. There. They see, oh, somebody's driving up the mountainside. It's all snowed in up there. We better go stop him. You know, either up there, or maybe he even came past here and went up this way and tried to go that way. Yeah, potentially. You know, he'd drive right past the stations where the Rangers would be stationed at, which would be right here. Driving right past there, coming out through here. So I'm just speculating. And then get stopped maybe right in here. But in a ploy to get up here to there. Actually, the best way to get up there would be over here, but that's very possible, but I don't know how far he'd be able to get. Anyway, this is all speculation, because I don't think that this may have been a potential reenactment, but I don't think that this was an actual person that he was talking about stopped him before. What I think happens, speculating here, of course, is that he did try to go up on one of these back ways and that somebody stopped him and he talked about it, and he's like, you know what, why don't we recreate that? I'll just pretend I'm going back, and you have one of my buddies sit up there and act like they're turning me around. But he didn't. He forgot that he mentioned that it was maybe a truck before and it's a car now. Anyway, let's see, where were we? Okay. And then he does this.
I think that's the same vehicle from... Hey!
There's the same vehicle. Parked outside his house and speeds away. And after that, he goes silent for a little bit. For almost, let's see, it was from April 16th to May 6th. He doesn't say not a peep from him. And then we get this.
Hey guys, I just want to give you an update. I'm not dead. I have not disappeared. I've just been busy with life. I couldn't get around to posting and updating you guys, so now I'm going to give you an official update of what's been going on. Sorry to disappoint you guys, but all of the videos that I posted were scripted. They're just fake. They were just strictly for entertainment. I'm sorry to disappoint you guys. I just needed to give you a quick update. Hey guys,
Now at this point, I will say, between the acting of the guy stopping him, you know, the road's closed. Yeah, road's closed. Just turn around, man. And this video where he's, you know, obvious, being very, you know, the way he's looking to the left, and people are like, oh, it's suspicious. Yeah, it's as suspicious as this. It's saying, yeah, I'm making it very clear that, I mean, if, say that they were forcing him into this, into this position right here, where he's against the blank wall, be at gunpoint or whatever, or under duress, and they record it to put out on his social media platform, right? And they get to this part where he's obvious looking like, I mean, he might as well be like, there's someone right there, you know, they're making me say this. They would make him re-record it. They would not put like, oh yeah, let's put this one out, this very suspicious looking confession video. So this is part of the game he's playing. So at this point, I'm very confident that this is like a adventure thing he's taken on. There's a name for it, and I can't think of it now, which is funny because I spent all this time investigating this, and I pushed that in my brain. But he goes silent for 10 days, and then on the 16th, we get this. Oh, gotta mute it. Hold on.
my videos weren't fake. You might not see me post ever again. My videos weren't fake.
The name of this is Too Much Has Happened. I Can't Be Forced to Be Silent. All right. And then finally, the final video in this series is posted on May 17th. And this is what it shows.
What is that? That was not there yesterday.
All right. What is that? That was not there yesterday. Yeah, this is not the mountain. This is this is not the mountain. This is not the mountain you're looking for. This is actually, this is the Whistlers. And named for the marmots that live on the mountain peak. And this is the little station on top of it. A very well-known location, which is why other people claim that the original footage was shot on this mountainside as well, because it's supposed to give you the impression that this building wasn't there before on the mountain, but this is a mountain with a building on it that's well known. So this is seen from Jasper, is what I'm understanding. And I've looked at the Whistlers. I didn't Google map the Whistlers, but I've looked at the Whistlers. It's let's see, we need to face north in order to find the Whistlers. There we go. All right, so that's Canoe Mountain. The Whistlers is this way. Jasper National Park. Yeah, that's seen from Jasper. My hissing cockroaches are back there hissing away. I don't know what's going on with them. What are they fighting over? Yeah, but all their mountains are touristy, kind of. Where's the Whistlers at? I could just Google it, or not Google. I could just type it in, but I'm being a big baby about it. And be like, I know where it is. I looked it up myself. But yeah, anyway, that's a different mountain. Anyhow, so back to the topic at hand. Okay, so Andrew Dawson's performance in these videos is just that, a performance. This is a creepypasta sort of adventure that he's taking us on. Originally, maybe it started off with actually wondering what the heck that was on the mountainside, because it looks like a person, but I think that it's actually this tower right here. I think that that's what we're looking at. But having fun with it, they went on an adventure to try to get up there and see it. We're stopped on the way, and it was like, oh, let's run with this. Let's script out some interactions that happen moving forward from this. So they staged the maybe they were really stopped, and they staged the recorded stop, because the way that the verbal cues and the inflections of the people talking, you're stationed on a mountain road to stop people from coming up there. It's not. I don't know. I didn't hear any inflection of with the individual. There was no aggression or whatever that he makes it sound like. Oh, it was the original stop was, but it's pretty dull. And then they record the paranoia stuff and whatnot, and go silent for a while. And maybe he wasn't done. Maybe he had more in mind. Maybe there's stuff in his back catalog that we'll never see. Maybe he's got scripts to take this thing even further. But in his real life, he was struggling. Nothing to do with his performance art that he was putting out here. And I think that conflating the two, or using his death to promote a creepypasta, is not what he would have wanted. Yes, remember the man for the art he put out there for this fun adventure we went on trying to sleuth out where these locations were and what he was looking at. I did enjoy this. This is the type of thing that I enjoy. And yeah, I wish we could have saw where this adventure went. I don't believe the conspiracies that the things that he was doing here were real, and that he was offed by some secret agency. And I think it's in bad taste to promote such narratives. He was obviously a passionate performer and enjoyed doing these. It's very clearly, to me anyhow, that it's a performance that was being done for entertainment purposes. And at this point in the conversation, I think that we should just let Andrew Ryan Watchhorn Dawson rest in peace. People should stop bothering his partner, Selma. She's made it very clear she doesn't want anything to do with this. She's done with it. This was his project. She's more of just a general TikToker. So she doesn't want people bothering her about it. So leave her alone about this topic. I don't think that we should link the man and the art together. I think keeping the performance and the performer as separate entities. And he could have had a blossoming career as a creepypasta creator. I mean, now he's going to be remembered at the level of like Marble Hornets just because of the circumstances surrounding his death. And that's unfortunate. Again, I would have rather saw where his story wound down to. I do like these types of fictional internet adventures that you go on. Anyhow, this has been I didn't mean to pop over to that. This has been Cryptic Corner, and please remember to be kind and take care, and we'll see you next time. I think this is the first time I ever engaged you was to ask if you were going to talk about this in one of your debates, is the Cambrian explosion and the misrepresentation. And at this point, for a lot of these guys, it's a deliberate misrepresentation because they've been corrected about the misnomer that is the Cambrian explosion. You want to go ahead and fill us in a little bit about that?
Yeah, I did actually have one conversation about the Cambrian explosion with a long story short a number of months back. After I first saw his videos, the team and I who do the videos, after we first ran across him, we did 2 responses to his video. I can't remember the name of it, but anyway, he's basically reprising Darwin's Doubt. Darwin's Doubt, for anyone who doesn't know, is a book written in 2013 by the Discovery Institute fellow Stephen Meyer, who's not a biologist, he's not a paleontologist, he's not a geologist, he's a philosopher of science. Perfectly respectable field, not relevant to the topic.
Yeah.
And so Meyer writes this tome. I mean, this is like a 500-page book on the Cambrian explosion. It really proposes 2 theses. The first is that the fossil record shows what looks like an act of divine creation. You have nothing, and then you have the Cambrian organisms. They all just pop out of nowhere. Then his second thesis is that mutations and natural selection can't account for the diversity of life that appears in the Cambrian. Well, they're both just flat wrong. They're both really bad theses. But because, for one thing, there were organisms preceding the Cambrian critters. We've known that since, I think, the 60s. Although it's only been relatively recently that the Ediacarans, which are the organisms preceding the Cambrian, or immediately preceding the Cambrian, have been identified. There are things like Kimberella and Dickinsonia and Hautia, which are animals, and in fact some of them are bilaterians. And so we have, and actually just earlier this year, I believe, or late last year, was another fossil identified from Australia called Icaria wariutia, which is this little unsegmented, almost worm-like animal, which is a bilaterian, and it matches the features that were predicted based on the tracks helminthoid dicnites. And so the researchers predicted what this thing should have looked like based on these tracks. And there we have it.
Yeah.
We have the body fossils now.
That's how science should work, exactly. Finding trackways, making predictions based on those, and then following through with that. And the misrepresentation that you see a lot with the Cambrian explosion is that they characterize it as an explosion, and we're talking about a 20 million year period. That's
Yep.
That's not it's not a quick event, and you're talking about mostly single-celled organisms at the time that reproduce very, very quickly. Yeah, mostly single-cell. I know that there were multicellular organisms as well at the time, but that reproduce quickly. There's plenty of time for diversification and speciation in that window.
Yeah, you're right. It is a 20-25 million year time frame, and it's framed as they came out of nowhere. They just instantly appear in the fossil record. But there's actually there is a lead up to the Cambrian, and the better picture that we constantly get, because researchers are constantly digging up fossils and doing stratigraphic analyses. Well, this is getting better all the time, and so our picture of the Cambrian is increasingly getting better. Well, we're seeing a series of steps leading up to the Cambrian explosion proper. You've got your soft-bodied bilaterians, then you have small, shelly critters, things like hyoliths and halkyarids, and a lot of these are stem groups. So they're the sort of the predecessors of the crown groups, and these are appearing in the early Cambrian. And then you have the crown groups appearing in the later Cambrian, and they surpass and take over and replace most of the stem lineages. And that looks pretty evolutionary to me. But, of course, most creationists, most intelligent design people are entirely unfamiliar with paleontology, entirely unfamiliar with paleobiology and geology. And
they depend on their audience being unfamiliar with that stuff too. That's really
absolutely.
But so I would imagine the robot. I don't know. I mean,
Hello there. And they'll say that it's a primitive idea that it rained for 40 days and 40 nights. So Google rained for millions of years.
It sounds like
that time that it rained for 2 million years.
I'm shading my head. Just relax.
That it rained for millions of years is a copying error. Supposedly is what makes us better. Those mutations make us better in evolution. Popping up new families through natural selection. Well, we don't see that at all. And so whenever an evolutionist tries to open up an animal shelter and shelter a endangered species, as they call it, and with the idea that dinosaurs farted themselves into extinction, how dinosaurs gassed themselves into extinction. I mean, this theory has been around for a long time, that dinosaurs actually farted themselves to death. Millions of years of supposed geologic time. Another layer comes, solidify, and you have Paleozoic, Mesozoic, and Archeozoic ages in the Grand Canyon.
All right. Hello, hello, and welcome to CreationWatch. This is Bree. We are live from the Hive right now. And if you're watching this on Wednesday, good evening. We got some great people in the side chat here. And hello, everybody. And thank you for dropping in this morning. Someone feels this thing coming on, Sandy. We just did a wild ride on CryptoCorner. If you haven't seen that yet, it was the episode with the giant on the mountainside and the strange tale attached to that. So yeah, please go watch that if you haven't watched it. If it's not released yet, I think it should be released yet. If it's not, you hit that bell notification. But we got people out here in the side chat speculating on government cover-ups and such. I love it. I love that I've got some fellow sleuthers wanting to explore and turn over some stones. Much love from the Hive to all the people out there in the swarm who make me want to come back and do this week after week. Thank you. It is the holiday season, and I am looking at my schedule staying the same for CreationWatch. I do have some more Christmassy themed creation topics to come up or to talk about shortly, but I could not pass this up when this popped up in my feed. So I am going to talk about making a deal with the devil. We're going to talk about getting your comeuppance when you make a deal with the devil. And we're going to talk about maybe some salty artists who want to blame other artists for making a deal with the devil for being successful, that they didn't do the work. But we shall see as we unwrap this odd little tidbit. So I'm not going to hold off anymore. We are going to jump right in. And we are going to be looking at somebody we have not seen in CreationWatch before. So this is going to be a new face for us. If you know who this gentleman is, actually we will break it down for you. Okay. This is the guy on the right here is who we're looking at. And he's talking about, this is specifically about Chris Brown.
What's up, y'all? Gerald here, creator of Gospel Chops and your host for this YouTube channel. Back with another video.
Gospel Chops. We are here with Gospel Chops talking about Chris Brown. Oz might like this one too, Jenna. If you're still out there, he might like responding to this video. It's about selling your soul to the devil. I know Oz's album was Devil's Night, so yeah, maybe this would be a fun promotional to respond to.
Video. I don't know what I have to do. I don't know what I have to say. I don't know how many examples I have to give you before our young people understand that this music business is not something they want to be involved in unless they're educated on what's really going on. I recently came across a video of Chris Brown debuting some new music.
He is going to play some Chris Brown. He does mute it though, so we don't have to worry about a copyright or anything on that.
And upon close inspection, the lyrics of the music told a haunting story. I'm gonna play it for you. However, I have to blank out some of the audio due to copyright issues. But because I'm providing commentary, this is fair use. Check.
Same goes to you, brother. Because we are doing commentary, fair use. I'm there with you. We're commentarying about your commentary, and I'm not commentarying about you as a person. I actually, I like your whole thing you got going on. I like the beanie and the glasses and the beard. Yeah.
This out.
And I'm just going to mute this part completely because he's going to explain or go over the lyrics here anyway.
Beat is hot. Chris Brown is talented. But if we inspect the lyrics of what he's actually saying,
here we go.
It sounds beyond demonic.
Beyond demonic. So you get to demonic and then you go beyond it is what Gerald's going to take us with his Bible chops. Yeah, what sounded like shade? I wasn't throwing shade. Aw. The mustache could be fuller in the middle, I will say that. But other than that, I think he's got a bad look.
Let's check this out. I had a meeting with the devil last week. I didn't believe what he said to me. Take this contract. Signature, please. You can have it all, but you know your soul I'ma keep. Bad luck, bad luck. You know it come in threes.
So, because there are, let's get this clear. Because there are references to sign a deal with the devil, which is a common people who have made it, who've been successful in their career, especially people in like performance field, actresses and actors, musicians, even in the older days, poets and writers. This is what they what we call a Faustian narrative. I mean, Faust is where all this is kind of funneled down to, really, at least as far as the way that is Western society we depict the deal with the devil. It crosses over with some African culture, though. Oh yes, D Parks. We're talking Robert Johnson. We're talking the Devil at the Crossroads. There are other folkloric. So there's a few African cultural traditions that took root in the Caribbean in the southern United States that were kind of converged with the Christian culture of the plantation owners, kind of merged in the folklore, right? And it did create this narrative among the poor black community, because there was after this is Jim Crow era, right? So there's this belt of poor black farmers across northern Alabama, Mississippi, and Georgia. There's this long belt of them where they could only afford this specific land because the soil content was kind of poor. But that's a whole other story, and I could make a video about how that all ties together. However, but in this poor district, this is where kind of the homeland of the blues, right? This is where the traditional field gospel is what I'm going to call it. I'm not going to use the spirituals that they would sing in the field and whatnot when they were working as slaves, where those kind of crossed over with the culture that blossomed afterwards, where they started innovating music, and blues was born from this poverty-stricken region, right? And along with their old musical traditions that they carried down, they also carried down things culturally, like the devil, the crossroad. Now, they use the term devil. It's angelized, I guess. Yeah. It is converted to to a sort of Christian narrative. So you get this devil at the crossroads character, and as far back as like Dee was mentioning, Robert Johnson. You have this narrative. There was also Tommy Johnson, who was actually Tommy Johnson is the one who actually claimed to have made the deal with the devil at the crossroads. Tommy Johnson was more known for his singing, though, and his voice than his guitar skill. But Robert Johnson got roped into it mostly out of a couple of things about his development as a musician. Because when his contemporaries first, when they heard him, he was terrible. He was a terrible guitar player. And then years later, he comes back playing all this this wild, amazing, innovative, almost proto-rock music, right? I mean, there are so many rock songs that are just covers of Robert Johnson's song for a reason. This is proto-rock. Yes, Mephistopheles, Faust. Yes, this is all Faust. Robert Johnson is Faust. Jimmy Page is Faust. Kurt Cobain is Faust. Chris Brown in this story here is Faust. Selling their soul for talent and the ability to be a masterful artist. But with Robert Johnson, it was, because he came back and was really good at playing, and because his untimely death, of course, which, he lived that blues man lifestyle that you see in pop culture, where, he was a bit of a womanizer and fooled around with somebody's wife is the legend, and ended up getting poisoned. There is a lot of characters throughout history that have been linked to this narrative that our friend Gerald is laying down here. But it's all Faust is what it comes down to. And this is Chris Brown's Faustian track.
Battling my demons, I'm the only one who sees. I got this fire burning all the weed. I bet hell ain't hotter than this effing Hennessy. Y'all, what is really going on here? So he thinks hell can't be hotter than this Hennessy. Means that I'm kind of getting the impression that he's not reaching out for help like you're thinking here, if he thinks that his Hennessy is hotter than hell. Sounds like our boy Chris Brown is caught in a vice. And what do you do when you find yourself caught in a painful vice? You holler. It sounds like my boy is screaming for help. If this is not demonic music, why is he talking so much about the devil?
Because the devil is a popular theme in pop culture. It's a universal antagonistic force that everybody can relate to, is why he's talking about the devil. It's a representation of the negativity of the music industry, or in the Hollywood industry, or Hollywood in general, for a lot of people, but for the music industry specifically.
And hell, and selling his soul. Now, y'all have heard me comment on Kanye and his unfiltered presentation, but this seems like...
Have you heard me comment on Kanye's unfiltered presentation? If you haven't, I did it on Cider and Port. I don't talk a lot of politics and stuff here, but I'm not Wild Turkey 101 is where it's at. Hennessy.
Chris Brown is a little more secretive in the message that he's trying to convey. He didn't come out and talk to the media. He didn't come out and hold an interview. He snuck it in his music and put the message right there for everyone to see. I had a
Well, for you to interpret song lyrics as literal, it's kind of... I mean, what do you do when you hear like a song like House of the Rising Sun. Or there's lots of old classic songs. In the Pines. That's about a murder. His body never was found. Do you think the person writing that was telling a point by point history, or you think that they were spinning a yarn and spreading a narrative? Not all songs are based on real events. Hotel California is another one that comes to mind. Do you think that these are literal? It's art.
Meeting with the devil last week. I didn't believe what he said to me. Take this contract, signature please. You can have it all, but you know your soul, I'ma keep. If I've said it once, I've said it 1,000,000 times. There's no easy road to success. If you want,
This is where the salt comes in. Aunt Jury, you're not wrong. Not wrong.
be a part of this industry and someone comes to you and offers you a contract, what they're saying is, I'm gonna give you a shortcut. I'm gonna make it so you don't have to do the work.
No, someone offering you a contract means that they perhaps believe in your art and want to help you be successful. Not always. Sometimes they're trying to scam you. Yeah, I love Little Nicky Godspeed. It's one of my favorite Adam Sandler movies. I like it's what I call it's the last installment of the classic Sandler era. Little Nicky. Adam Sandler probably sold his soul to the devil too.
I'll do the work for you. Sign here. Chris Brown said it. Signature, please. You can have it all, but you know your soul.
Yes, it's again about feeling like he sold out or sold his soul for success in the music industry. Metaphorically, I imagine. I don't know why you think it's literal. It's kind of weird that you think it's literal. Yeah.
Key. That's the quiet part they never say out loud. See that poster up there? It's the staircase to success. There is no shortcut. There is no elevator. If we want to be successful.
See, and this is where I'm saying about the salt here. He's saying that, these people that are successful just got there because they made a deal with the devil. That's why they're successful and I'm on YouTube. But, you know, if we're all working towards being successful and growing an audience and doing what we can to contribute to the world out there. I mean, anybody who's an entertainer, I consider myself an entertainer foremost regarding this channel and my other channel. So, which is Battle for Gaia, by the way. If you are not subscribed, I talk about animals over there. No, just chillax, watching animal videos, commentary, learning science and learning history about them. Good stuff. Back to this topic, though. We're all just struggling. I'm plugging my stuff too, babe. I'm with you. And we're all struggling to climb that stairway to success. I hear you. But just because other people are more successful than us, and I see this in the community all the time. People pass me up with their sub count or with whatever, and I'm happy for them. It makes me ecstatic. Someone I've watched grow, that I've helped grow even. I helped Atheist Jr. at the beginning of their channel to grow, and look at them now. They're like at 5K subscribers. AJ's awesome. Another channel that someone who just passed me up was Paleologos. Paleologos is a young Earth creationist, but or maybe an old Earth creationist. Correct me, Peter, if I get you wrong there. But and they just now passed me up in sub count. So yeah, if you guys want to help me beat Peter, get the message out that Peter just passed me, and we can make it a friendly competition to hit 1K. Anyway, but some people are more successful. They find their audience. It's about finding your audience. It's about finding what message you're best at giving, whether it's through your art, through your through music, through live streaming, through making videos or making documentaries like McKinnon does, which that's coming out soon too. The newest documentary, the one that I am second chair director on. Pretty cool, right? I'm going to be a second chair director on something. I can make my own IMDb page now. Anyway, but just because other people are more successful doesn't mean that, oh, they must have made a deal with the devil, friend. And even if they make music that says they made a deal with the devil, that's just them saying, hey, you know, I did sign these contracts and it did help me get success, but I regret what I've had to do, because sometimes I'll have to compromise their artistic integrity over their producer's recommendation or some clause in their contract. But let's get going.
Successful in life, in music, in our careers, we got to take the stairs. Right. It's a hard road. Only the strong survive. Many of the weak that we think are strong fall by the wayside in situations like this. And it seems like...
In situations like what? Like him signing a contract for success? That is him taking the stairs. That contract is one of the steps.
They have it all because, well, Chris Brown said it. The contract says you can have it all.
You're missing your interpretation's all wrong. What it is that he got to the top of the steps and realized it wasn't really, the success wasn't really what he thought it would be, and there's regrets he has along the way. So he feels like he's sold out, signed a contract to sell his soul, basically his artistic integrity.
But what are you giving up to have it all? Signature, please. You can have it all. But your soul, that's mine. Understand what you're getting into when you play this game.
Sacrifice is something you will have to make on the road to success, though. It is.
That's why I stress independence. When I talk to musicians, that is my sermon. That is...
TMI is too much information. It's like a little game show that they do. It's cute and funny.
My message. You want to be a part of the music industry? You can make music in your bedroom. Mix it, master it, upload it to streaming services, build you a website, and you are part of the industry.
I do agree with artists taking their art back into their own hands. It's funny as it sounds. I want to say the OnlyFans model is a better model than what we currently have for the music industry. I think that we should, the artists should suck them dry on that. It should, now that we have the tools to do so, just screw the big labels and stuff. I'm with you, buddy. I am big record contracts and stuff. Though, as a musician, a former working musician, that I did spend my weekends on the road every week. It was straining on my relationships at home with my spouse and children at the time. Trying to do that, so it was a strain. And I would have taken a contract at that time. I definitely would have. I probably would have signed a deal with the devil, even though it was the devil at that time. I was working my scrawny little butt off. I was playing like 5 different instruments a night, doing 2 or 3 sets. It would get exhausting. The artist should suck them dry. Yeah. Yes, Ring. Yes. OnlyFans is one word, though. But that's really what the cornerstone of this video seems to be, is that he wants to say that people who are successful, like Chris Brown, have sold their soul, and that's why they're successful, while he, the honest and true artist, plugs along climbing the stairway while they took the shortcut. Even though the shortcut's imaginary to him, to make him feel better about their success versus, where he is right now. I'm not saying he's not successful. I think he's more successful than me. Where are you, Gerald? Yeah, this video has 156K views. Our boy has 258K subscribers. I think you're doing all right, Gerald.
industry. You're part of the game. But that's not the end point. That's just the beginning. Once you put your music out there, once you build your own platform, you gotta build your audience. One fan at a time. One listener at a time. Sounds like a lot of work, right? It is. But there's no easy path to success. It's a hard path. And if you ain't willing to do the work, there's always a devil. There's always a demon out there willing to put a contract in your face. I encourage you.
So why is the music contract the demon? Why is that not just one of the steps? Like you're talking about putting your music out there and winning over one listener at a time. Why are you not winning over the record executive? Not that I currently support the model of the music industry right now, but it is a model built on capitalism, right? So it's a model built on having a product that people want to buy. And if someone is interested in the product and interested in branding your product, which is basically what a record industry is doing, is branding your music to market it, then why is that not part of the steps? Why is it the deal with the demon? Is it because you're on the contract, you might have to compromise your artistic integrity, that you might have to cut some lyrics or not make a song about a certain topic, or that you may have to maintain a certain public image can be on your record contract, which means just not getting in trouble with the law and stuff like that. There will be clauses like that in any kind of contract when you're in the entertainment industry, right? Hold on, that's the doorbell. I'll be right back. Sorry, it was one of Ian's friends. I am happy that I'm the place where his friends feel like they can be comfortable coming to visit. Ian's actually at work, so hopefully he gets in touch with them. I'll call Ian when the show's over, but he can hang out in there for now. I'm in the middle of something. Anyway, thank you so much for being patient with me while I had to step away for just a moment. Let's get back into this video.
You all to do the work. Build your own platforms. Build your own fan base.
John Hudson in the house.
One listener, one viewer at a time. It's a longer road, but it's much more rewarding. I heard a story a while back about Chief Keef. Having moved to LA, signed a contract, got in a little trouble in the city, and the owner of his record contract repossessed his car. Now hold on, y'all. Can't nobody repossess something that you...
That's what I was just saying about your contract. Yeah, they can. If you sign a contract with your record company to maintain a certain public image, then you're expected to honor that contract.
You own. So if the man came and repossessed his vehicle and put Chief Keef on punishment, it must have been his vehicle. Otherwise, Chief Keef would have had cause for legal action. I say it to musicians.
It's kind of like you were talking about with Kanye. That's what the handlers are. They're people who keep you in line with your contract, with your well, in his case, so it was more than just with his record company, though. He had other industry stuff going on too. I think he had clothing contracts and stuff like that. Stuff with Adidas, I think. Anyway, yeah. Kanye West is a good example of that, and it's someone who has clauses in their contract that they violate, and he's free of his of his handlers now, which were the people just keeping him in line with his contract. Yes, I'm living the mom life.
The name of the game is own or be owned.
Own
You
or
got
be
two
owned.
choices. That's it. Own or be owned. I choose to own. My copyrights, my trademarks, my intellectual property, my creations, all mine. And I'm proud of that fact because I don't need the admiration of the whole world. I've built my tribe and I'm cool with it. And it's ever growing. That's how you found this channel. And I'm glad to have you. I'm glad to be steady growing. I don't need the world. Because what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? Like the video.
I mean, I don't believe in a soul, but I get that you do, and I don't think a soul, even if in the way that you understand it, is something that could be sold. Because don't you believe that Christ has your soul or something along those lines? I'm sure. I mean, I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but I think that that's the general consensus, right? But regardless, just because people sign record contracts to get ahead that way, instead of, I don't know what. So when you say that, I like you say, oh, put out your music on like SoundCloud and things like that. Yeah, definitely. But it doesn't mean that you should automatically turn down a record contract that comes your way because you think it's the devil. Just, don't. There comes a point where you're going to say, I shouldn't say don't compromise. You should always compromise with anybody trying to offer you aid in getting ahead. There's always going to be points of compromise, but just they are just within reason, right? Do something within reason. But yeah, if someone's like, hey, since you're going to represent our company, how about we're not going to let you have a you're going to have to lose the swastika cape or something like that. You're a performer, like, I'm going to wear a swastika cape in this music video, and they're like, hey, since we're paying to produce your albums and your music videos and stuff, we don't want you to wear a swastika cape. So how about losing the swastika cape? That's definitely a compromise. Yeah, you're compromising your artistic integrity there, sure, swastika cape guy, but it's probably better for your product and better for the people funding your product that you don't do that. This is how capitalism works. So it's not selling your soul or compromising your integrity. I mean, maybe it is compromising your integrity, but your integrity is kind of gross if you want to wear a swastika cape on stage. But yeah. Anyway, after this, he just shills. So I'm gonna drop the real gospel chops with Gerald, and we are going to just. There's one more thing I wanted to just pop in and show you guys. This is not a new phenomena by any means. This is a deep-rooted conspiracy. Hold on, there's just one part of this I wanted to show. Where is it? There it is. I love Tenacious D. Watch.
Song was about saving souls from demons or something. Yeah. Does I remember correctly?
Yeah.
What was?
Well, there's a rich history of the devil in rock and roll. It goes all the way back to like Elvis was everyone said he's playing the devil's music.
What was that great song? The devil went down to Joe.
Charlie Daniels. Charlie Daniels. He had some devil in there, and it goes even back to before that.
It was Robert Johnson.
Right. You can find his roots, way back to the beginning of rock, and so had we sold our soul to the devil? How else can you explain us being here on the journey?
Sasha is my alter ego.
So, that's kind of the thing. It's a joke, right? Charlie Daniels, really? Charlie Daniels sold his soul to the devil. People like Gerald would say yes. Who was it? The Ride. It's a country song. We used to freaking cover it because I had a rockin' harmonica solo that I play in the middle of it. The Ride. Is it David Allan Coe? Is it? Yeah, it's somebody like that. Yeah, we used to cover some classic country in my bluegrass band. That was the one I worked the hardest with. Man, it was long nights with that band. Had some kick-ass mandolin solos and some freaking awesome harmonica riffs. And yes, I played. I didn't play banjo with that band. Oh yeah, no, I didn't play banjo. I played guitar, harmonica, mandolin, dobro. You ever played a dobro? They're so cool. Had a mountain dulcimer. I don't think I ever ended up playing it. I just went with the mandolin instead for that song, but good stuff. So yeah, I worked really hard as a musician, and I didn't make it in the music industry, and that's fine. Now I'm old and my hands hurt, so I don't really play too much anymore. I can still play, but I don't play too much. So, yeah, that was CreationWatch, talking about selling your soul to the devil. I sold my soul for rock and roll, or in this case it was Chris Brown, so sold your soul for some hip-hop, Tenacious D. All right, so let's move right into the last segment of the day. I'll see you guys over there. The cool thing about bears, too, is that brown bears, under the umbrella of brown bears, is actually the polar bears. They're grouped within that clade because there are clades of brown bears that are closer related to polar bears than they are to other brown bears. Polar bears are just a subclade of brown bears. They have to live in an Arctic environment over generations, and they're actually, as the planet warms up a little bit, they're moving back inland and starting to interbreed back in with other brown bear populations. That's going to be the best for their genetic descendants for them to interact with other populations of brown bears that aren't so adapted to this Arctic marine environment anymore. That's just
one does is just pop themselves to the ground while the other one climbs back up the rope. So for anybody that's wondering if nature and sex happens between an organism, here's the answer. On this episode of God Made What? Now, normally I like to talk about cephalopods, but this time we're going to talk about a different type of mollusk. This is the Limix maximus, otherwise known as the giant leopard slug. And it deserves that name. I mean, look at the size of this thing. Now, despite its size, it still falls short in compared to the great black slug. And I wanted to bring up these creatures because they're not only hermaphrodites, but also because of their mating ritual. So what they do is climb themselves up into a high point, play a little bondage by hanging from a slime rope, and they not only intertwine themselves, but they also intertwine their little dinghies, located behind their head of all places. And
So sorry about that mess there. The thing was supposed to be set up to play those sequentially, and it played them all over top of each other, which is freaking ridiculous. So I apologize for all of that. No, there was not any rhyme or reason to that. It was supposed to play them sequentially. Aunt Jer, I do apologize. I don't know why it's messing up like that. When I tested it, it was just fine last night. So that's annoying. It happened twice. It happened on both of my. They're both new scenes or new pages that I made for my playthrough. I do apologize because Junie's ad was supposed to be in there and it got messed up in the audio issues too. Yeah, you thought you weren't sophisticated enough to understand it. Yeah, it just it was just a mess. And one of those doesn't even belong in there. The polar bear one's an intro. It goes at the beginning of the show. It doesn't even belong in that segment. I'm so sorry. No, yeah, I'm definitely not perfect. I make all kinds of blah, but the show is getting better, and yeah, I do have artistic cuts and stuff, or artsy cuts and whatnot, but not like that. Not just a jumbled mess of audio noise over the wonderful Junie trying to give her presentation about slug sex, which is pretty good. So I will replay those properly after this segment of HiveScience. So no worries there. We will go back and redo those before we do the outro video. So there's going to be a longer bit of an outro today, but that's fine. Because, I don't cut the outro into anything anyway. I don't think polar bears drink Coca-Cola in the wild. Well, they might lick it up, though. They can smell really good, so they smell the sweetness of it and be attracted to that, I think. Yeah. Oh, hey, Stool is here. Welcome to the show, Stool. I am adding extra gravy and cake to the show this season just for you. All right, so let's get into just some freaking science. It's science time, guys, because IFL Science. Yes, that's this awesome website here. It has some fun pop science stuff going on. It's all nicely sourced, and this is just from yesterday. The JWST confirms one of the furthest galaxies ever discovered. These galaxies are the first to be confirmed to come from the very early universe. Pretty sweet. The area of the ultra deep field that has some of the most distant galaxies ever observed. Right here, look at that. Isn't that freaking gorgeous? Oh, wow. And this image is from NASA, ESA, CSA, and M. Zamani. Just giving you our citations there. Ew. I don't want to see that. Was that red meat? Astronomers using JWST have confirmed the distance of some of the furthest galaxies yet. One of them was in place just 330 million years after the Big Bang. One of the very first galaxies that ever shone in our universe. The galaxy is called JADES GSZ130 and is now located 33 billion light years from us. The JWST Advanced Deep Extragalactic Survey, which is what JADE stands for, focused on the area in and around the Hubble Space Telescope's ultra-deep field. The scientists confirmed this object in the distance of 3 more, not quite as far, but still very distant. There are few methods to measure how far a galaxy really is. One quick and easy method is to look at the colors. The redder it is, the further it is. That's due to the expansion of the universe. As space-time expands, the wavelengths of light travel intergalactic distances are shifted towards the red end of the spectrum. This value is called redshift. The color approach delivers photometric redshift, which is what we see here. So when we look back up here, the more red they are, the further, I guess the older they are. I shouldn't say the further they are. But there's going to be some inference and correlation between that. But yeah, I like this image here, explaining how the redshift is working for us to age these three and this one right here. But some galaxies are just naturally redder, and this can cause confusion. For this reason, astronomers can look directly at the spectrum of the galaxies and more precisely estimate the distance. This method is known as spectroscopic redshift, and while more precise, it is also a lot more laborious. The photometric redshift for these 4 galaxies was very close to the actual value obtained with the spectrum. Very good news for photometric approaches, which actually have potentially identified the furthest galaxy ever seen. Although we're waiting for spectroscopic redshift to confirm. So this work tells us that these 4 galaxies are for sure some of the oldest objects in the universe we have ever seen, from when the cosmos was less than 400 million years old. Yeah, that's freaking amazing, isn't it? There's 4 galaxies that are this old, or considered around this age. Obviously, one of them is going to be the oldest, but yeah, it's not. This is cutting edge, though, so this is a new field of redshift evaluation on what we're seeing in the galaxy as a whole. And distant galaxies as well. I'm super stoked about this. All right, let's see here. Here's a quote. It was crucial to prove that these galaxies do indeed inhabit the early universe. It's very possible for closer galaxies to masquerade as very distant galaxies. Astronomer and co-author Emma Curtis Lake from the University of Hertfordshire, maybe, in the United Kingdom, said in a statement, "Seeing the spectrum revealed as we hoped, confirming these galaxies as being the true edge of our view, some further away than Hubble could see. It is a tremendously exciting achievement for the mission. The data collected not only tells us the distance of these objects, but also sheds light on their properties. These galaxies have a mass of about 100 million suns, and they are less than 100 million years old. They formed rapidly and quickly ionized the hydrogen gas around them. These are by far the faintest infrared spectra ever taken," said astronomer and co-author Stefano Carniani from Scuola Normale Superiore in Italy. I guess that's how you say that. I don't know. I didn't expect to see that to come up in here. I would have practiced. They reveal that we hoped to see a precise measurement of the cutoff wavelength of light due to the scattering of intergalactic hydrogen. The findings also reported 2 papers awaiting peer review, which can be read here and here, and we're not going to go into those right now. But yeah, we're seeing further into the reaches of the galaxy than ever before, or of the universe than ever before, seeing far-off galaxies of ancient age that are only emerging just 400 or less than 400 million years after the Big Bang. That's freaking amazing, and I cannot wait to see what more we are able to accommodate on that. The final and last topic that I would like to cover today is just going to be a short little touch on the ancestor of modern brewing yeast has been found hiding in Ireland. Found in Patagonia and elsewhere, Saccharomyces eubaryanus has now been identified in Europe. In 1516, a duchy of Bavaria in Germany imposed a law on its beer brewers meant to reserve ingredients like wheat and rye for baking of bread. The decree restricted brewers to using only barley, hops, water, and yeast to make their libations, and set the prices for beer depending on the time of year. The law inadvertently limited brewing to the winter, which favored cold-tolerant yeast called Saccharomyces pastorianus, which brews lager over the more common S. cerevisiae, which brews ale. S. pastorianus is a hybrid produced from mating of S. cerevisiae with another yeast called S. eubanus. Despite lager's European origins, S. eubanus hadn't actually been found there and was only first discovered in 2011 in the Patagonian region of South America. Now, thanks to a research project carried out by undergraduate students, S. eubanus has been found living in European soil, fittingly in the beer-loving nation of Ireland. Since the discovery of S. eubanus, eubanus, make sure I'm saying that right. I did practice these words. More than 10 years ago, it has been is fun puzzle putting it together with the species is actually found, or where the species is actually found, said Quinn Langdon, a biologist at Stanford University who was not involved in the study. A leading theory is that S. eubanus originated in Patagonia and then spread around the world, eventually mating with S. cerevisiae in European breweries to make S. pastorianus, which is a domestic breeding or domestic breed of yeast. Geraldine Butler, a geneticist at the University College Dublin and leader of the project, always thought that teaching genome sequencing techniques by having students scour soil for yeast could turn up S. eubanus. Still, she says, she couldn't contain her excitement when she saw the first hint of the microbe. I was sitting by the sequencer waiting for the results to come out, she says. One of Butler's students, Stephen Allen, found two local strains of S. eubanus hiding in plain sight on the Belfield campus of the University College Dublin. The team has since gone back and found the yeast again. Butler says, suggesting that there is a stable population of the yeast living in the Irish soil. The new discovery was published December 7th. I only bring you the most recent and up-to-date science here in Live from the Hive, don't you know? December 7th on this one, December 9th on the previous one. This is new stuff coming out, cutting edge, right now on the floor for you. Yes, I stay on top of my game. Butler hopes this discovery will brew, I like what you did there, interest elsewhere in Europe for this to search for S. eubanus, including in Bavaria, where lager brewing is thought to have first started. She is also looking for commercial partners to try making beer with the Irish strain. Langdon isn't confident that the new microbe will lead to tasty brew because there are other S. ubanus strains that don't grow well on maltose, the sugar that needs to be digested by yeast during the brewing process. Still, Langdon says it'd be fun. It'd be fun to brew with them. Yeah, I agree. It'd be pretty cool to see them and see what comes out on them. Whether the newly discovered Irish strain of S. pastorianus as Pastorianus's missing parent tastes good or not, there's no denying that their discovery helps solve a little piece of the puzzle of lager brewing's origins. That 16th century shift from C. cerevisiae to S. cerevisiae to S. pastorianus led to a global shift that continues to this day. More than 90% of beer sold in the world today is lager. Fungi are the forgotten kingdom, Langdon said, not getting as much attention as plants or animals. Despite playing an outside role in human history, yeast are just single cells living in the soil, and they're doing really important things. Absolutely. So that was some Hive science up in here. I hope you guys enjoyed that. We explored a couple of different topics here, but the beer one was really interesting to me because that when I talked with Michael Granato a couple weeks back, we talked about domestication, and he had mentioned talking about cultivars and agricultural crops, and the idea of cheese came up, cheese and beer, and how they're produced and by domesticated yeast and bacteria. So it's a whole nother area of domestication process that we've been practicing for generations without it even occurring to the people exactly what was happening, that we were domesticating yeasts and we were domesticating microbial bacteria, all these microbes. We just knew that we added this together with that, and it produced this stuff. We didn't have a good grasp on what the origins of it were. So even at the time where we didn't know exactly what we were doing, we were still practicing husbandry on these bacteria and fungi without even realizing it. Anyway, that's been our live from the Hive this morning. I hope that you all learned a little bit today. We did the giant on the mountainside, and then we did some selling your soul to the devil and CreationWatch, and now we've wrapped things up with some space telescopes and beer genetics. So thank you for joining us today. Please remember to be kind and take care, and we will see you next.
On this episode of God Made What? Now, normally I like to talk about cephalopods, but this time we're going to talk about a different type of mollusk. This is the Limix maximus, otherwise known as the giant leopard slug. And it deserves that name. I mean, look at the size of this thing. Now, despite its size, it still falls short in compared to the great black slug. And I wanted to bring up these creatures because they're not only hermaphrodites, but also because of their mating ritual. So what they do is climb themselves up into a high point, play a little bondage by hanging from a slime rope, and they not only intertwine themselves, but they also intertwine their little dinghies, located behind their head of all places. And look, when they climax, they form this flower thing to exchange sperm. And once they're really done, all the one does is just plop themselves to the ground while the other one climbs back up the rope. So for anybody that still thinks that in nature, sex happens between a male and a female organism, here's these, guys.